Hey guys, that beat goes hard.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. That beat goes hard. This podcast goes hard. This is Get in the Herd, a recovery podcast brought to you by the McShin Foundation. I'm Alex Bond, always with my cohort, Nathan Mitchell.
Oh, hello. How you doing?
Also here with Joseph, Joey Jewell. We're here talking recovery.
AKA Ginger Joe.
That would be also
Ginger Joey.
Nathan, what you been up to?
Whew. Well, it's Tuesday, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think so.
Right. So today is 20th of October, and we are 13, 14 something days left, 15 days left until the election, I think it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, like I mean, I've already gone out and voted, which is fantastic. But sort of watching the numbers, seeing what's going through, and making sure that those who need to get their ballots by the 23rd get their ballots by the 23rd. Hey Jamie, hey Johnny, good to see you. Just being available, being here. I've got a couple coachees here at the McShin Foundation. I've got one of my coachees here with us in the hot seat.
With his owls.
And the hizzy.
He didn't have red hair until he sat down there.
That's true. Now I got a couple grays too.
Yeah, so that's what's up with me. So yeah.
Well, what's up with Joey? Why don't you introduce yourself to everyone, man?
Hey guys, I'm Joey.
Who he is.
I don't know. What do you want? Like a elevator speech?
Yeah.
Shit.
I don't know. I'm Joey. I'm just here trying to do something different, man. That's all.
That's all.
Just trying to do something different with my life because the way I was living wasn't working. So I'm letting these guys try to teach me, man. So.
But you also, you have a lot of good recovery knowledge yourself, man.
I like to think so.
Yeah, because you've done the recovery thing, the recovery shuffle, what some people call it.
Yeah.
You've had sustained clean time, and I continuously see you paying it forward to other people all the time. We were talking a little bit about that yesterday.
Yeah.
So I guess, and this is kind of a question to you too, Nathan, because you're kind of like, you've been back from your trip for maybe like a couple months now, right?
Yeah, about a month and a half.
Okay. And so I guess my open question to you guys is how do you kind of like have to train yourself to get back into recovery mode? I have to do that, like even still being in recovery. And like, I kind of ask you that, Nathan, because when you're out solo dolo, traveling the world, it's kind of like your personal recovery. And even when I'm in recovery, like I can feel myself getting stressed out and I have to like get back into recovery mode a lot of times. I was kind of wondering what that experience is like. Yeah. So in your opinion,
from what the rooms tell me that if I never leave the basics, I don't have to go back to the basics.
Mm-hmm.
And to go away for a month and a half and on that trip and to be alone, solo dolo, is that what you said?
Solo dolo.
All right. We'll work on that one later there. But to be out on my own, I really wasn't on my own. There were times, it got lonely and I got stuck in my head, but I had a toolbox that was given to me by the programs of recovery that I work, and the 12-step fellowships and other mutual aid groups that I participate in. So, I was able to really use those tools to really get into that and not go, into a direction that would have been disastrous for me, and probably other people. So, I getting back into recovery, I don't know that I left recovery. If anything, it was a good test of my recovery.
There you go.
Yeah, but and while I was out, out and about, I got to meet a lot of other people and experience what recovery looks like in other places, which was pretty amazing. So, I am very grateful to come back here. I've been back for a month and a half, and I've been able to really use what I've gone through in my own head, I think, to be of better service to my coachees, and Joey over here. So some history. You guys know this, but I've known Joey since I came into recovery, and as such, I've seen growth. I've seen I've learned from the example. I've seen what Joey does, and I see what other people, around Joey do. And I looked at that, and I often say, well, no, I'm serious, man. I look at that and I say, I want to do more of that. Now Joey's story and my story, took took some twists and whatnot, but here we are together, literally working together to become better people.
Yeah.
You know, literally sitting down and saying, you know what, this is where I screwed up
yeah,
today. You
This
know,
is where I messed up today. This is what I'm going to do about it. I'm going to try something different tomorrow. And that's what it's all about.
the man punches me in the nuts.
I don't know. I mean,
But, you know.
those once and we're not gonna talk about it. I don't know, man. Like for me, like coming back into recovery and like, don't get it. You know, I got 37 days today, man. And like, you know, it's like, for me, I had to be broken, man, you know, to get back into recovery because I did leave recovery, right? And I know what that feels like time and time again. I know what it feels like to get stuff back and do all this stuff. But at the end of the day, like still having that want, that feeling of like something's missing, trying to fill the void with something. And for me, it was drugs and alcohol and people and whatever I could use, right? So like, I'm a big believer that I start using a long time before I actually
Put one in you.
put one in me, right?
Okay.
So like it's behaviors because it says it's 90% behaviors, 10% is actual use, right?
Yeah.
Like, so like I have to change the way that I act, think, feel, react. That's all stuff that I got to change because like, for me, getting back into recovery, I had to be broken again, man. And it sucks, right? Like I hate that feeling. I hate being broken and I hate feeling destitute and like nothing matters, right? But that's what it took for me to open my mind back up to the 12 steps and like NA, AA, all the other A's, whatever your thing is, you know what I mean? Like I had to realize that I dislike hurting people and hurting myself, hurting those relationships. And one big thing for me, you know, obviously like my family, especially my NA family and AA family and like my close relatives, you know what I mean? Like that right there, thinking about that while I was laying in jail, locked up, detox and all that stuff, man, like it broke me down, man.
Mhm.
And it let me start reading the book again and start getting fired back up about it because nothing lights fire under my ass. I'm not going to do anything about it.
Mhm.
You know? So it took a lot of slips, man. And I'm still, I mean, like I said, I got 37 days, man. I feel better this time around than I have in the past, you know, because I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I had to be tired. And I had to learn a lesson, right? Because if I don't learn from all of these past experiences, then I'm not going to do nothing different. Man. So I just came in here and tried to clear my mind of what I already know because I think I know some shit, right? I think I know stuff because, you know, my ego.
Yeah, the humility piece is tough, man. I gotta check myself all the time on that, dude.
I'm bad with it, man. I'm bad with the humility piece, right? Because like I said, I think I know stuff, and for me, like I kind of had to wipe the slate clean a little bit. You know what I mean? I'll always have the knowledge, but like wipe the slate clean and let you guys teach me how to love myself, man. Because at the end of the day, I don't even know what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it took, man. Knowing that I don't love myself or other people.
I'm laughing at the comments. I'm sorry.
I can't even see the comments.
My
Carly
eyesight's
Rose,
so bad.
Carly Rose puts 2 purple hearts up there. So
Hey, babe.
I'm going to say that's 1 for Joey, and I'm going to say it's 1 for Alex. And Carly, I mean, you're leaving me out here. And then Todd over there, poor guy, you know.
Can't even see him
Ben Kramer,
doing all the actual work.
Sarah Bain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Joey, maybe you can answer this for me, or at least expand on my thinking of this. You know, when I first got into recovery, someone with a lot of time asked me, you know, what I thought, how likely it was that I would, you know, maintain my sobriety, right? And, you know, I sat there and, you know, I think I probably had maybe 4 months clean. So, you know, I knew stuff.
Just enough time to get cocky.
Oh, shoot. 1 day for me is enough time. 1 hour.
Right.
And I sat back and I kind of thoughtful, and I was already resentful that the person I was with had ordered his French fries without salt, so that meant the French fries I got also had no salt. And if you try to put salt on French fries and it's not at the right time, they don't stick. So I was already annoyed by this.
So all your salt was falling off your French fries, and you got a resentment.
And I wanted to put it in the Wendy's Frosty. It's just the whole thing was ruined, the experience. And this is what I remember from this, right?
This is the only thing that he remembers. He doesn't remember any quality conversation.
So I was asked, you know, what it would be, you know, what was likely that I would continue. And I thought about it, and I gave what I thought was, I said, well, I don't know, there's 70% chance. I'm blah, blah, blah. I was like,
It's good
and
odds.
he just, well, he said, oh, okay. And then that was it. And I was like, okay.
What do I do with this information?
How do we do this?
Mhm.
Well, it was about an hour later. We were back here in the building. And how about you? What is the likelihood that you will continue in your sobriety? And he looked at me and he kind of thoughtfully, did this with his mouth. And he probably had
like a
some
distinguished gentleman.
probably leftover French fries he was getting out of his teeth.
Mhm.
And he kind of looked at his watch and said, well, I got up around 10:30 this morning and it's about 4:00 and I'll probably go home and have dinner and be in bed by 11. So,
That's late.
say what? Well, I said, and it's, 10:30 he got up. So,
Mhm.
so I guess, I think my chances are pretty good. What was he driving at that moment? Do you see what I'm picking up here? Or do you pick up what I'm putting down?
I'm not smelling what you're stepping in. Let me know.
It's the day. It's the
Yeah,
it's
just for
completely
today.
dependent
The
on
just for
what
today
goes on
concept.
today.
That's what I was thinking. Now, the just for today, for me, the just for today thing is like a kind of a convoluted concept because it's like I have to plan for my future. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I'm a
Cut me
human,
Coles.
I'm a human being. I gotta, you know what I mean? I got stuff to do. Dude. But it's talking about spirituality for me. Right. Like just today, I'm going to try to maintain my spirituality. I'm going to try to pray in the morning. I'm going to try to do the stuff that you guys suggest me to do. Now, like one of my old sponsors told me, don't make recovery 100% of your life. Does that make sense?
That's all. I agree with that.
Because like I've got actual human stuff to do. Now, recovery is always in my life because if I practice the principles, then they're supposed to be applied in every facet of my life, right? But if I don't know how to say it, if I dive into recovery too much, I can overwhelm myself. You know what I mean? And I'm notorious for doing that, like trying to take on too much stuff, trying to blah, 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 like make all the friends in the world, do all this stuff. But at the end of the day, like, the only thing that matters is that I try to maintain those spiritual principles that I've learned. And, like, don't get it wrong. I've got thousands of friends in AA and NA, but at the end of the day, the point is to trust God, clean house, and help somebody. And at the end of the day, that helping somebody piece is often how I make friends, man, and how I fellowship, or I try to at least, And so, yeah.
And there's something about achieving a balance there.
Mhm.
I want to help others sometimes so I don't have to help myself.
Yeah.
And
I trust God to help me. And that's where the other piece comes in.
How do we do that?
trust God. Well, I am God, so of course.
Right. Yeah.
I think
Nathan
Jamie
is God,
asked
everybody.
a good question. He's
Yeah.
asking a few good questions, but I want to focus on the one. Does anyone feel that they use humor to deflect from
All right,
actual
Jamie.
issues in
All
recovery?
right.
I know y'all probably both read that and we're like,
Yeah.
now we're
I can't
good.
even see it.
I
so I'm
want to
glad
read
you
that. I want to go over that one because I think we are three. I can speak for myself, and I know that I definitely do that.
I never use humor.
And you said that you did yesterday.
I mean, I do it in every single aspect of my life.
Do you think that's healthy or unhealthy?
I mean, it depends on what you're talking about. And, we gotta laugh. I gotta laugh at my shit, man. Because like me, a lot of people don't know this about me, but I got so much court shit going on right now that if I don't laugh, I'm gonna freak out.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't got nobody around me that makes me laugh and I can escape from that for a little while, I'm gonna freak out. But there is a certain point in which, when does it go too far?
Yeah.
Like when do I distinguish between having to be like right now? I'm a little bit more serious. You know what I mean? Because we're sitting here trying to help somebody. And at the end of the day, that's the goal. But drawing that line between when to be serious and when to be funny is kind of
Well, there's a balance too, being able to like show people that this
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 shit's
doesn't
fun,
have to
man.
be an actual job 24/7. That like I can still have a blast.
dude, I have
With
more
clean
fun
time.
being sober.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
It's not forced either.
Yeah. I mean, I damn sure didn't have fun sleeping under a bridge. I can tell you that.
Like,
You know what I'm saying? I damn sure wasn't sitting out smoking cigarettes and laughing with you guys sleeping under a bridge.
I'm laughing when I wake up with a stomach ache, man.
Oh.
I hated that. Like every day, every single day, I would wake up with just a retch in my stomach.
Sweating.
Wait. You guys actually got to sleep?
Right.
Oh yeah,
True shit. Yeah.
like a rock.
Like every
sometimes.
8 days. I think it was. Yeah. Something like that.
Humor, but Jamie, that is a good question though. Humor, there is the balance that we have to achieve, and I'm notoriously off balance to the humor side of that until I'm not, and then I get frustrated when other people don't go in that direction with me, and it's like, wait, I'm suddenly serious. Why the heck aren't you serious too?
Because Nathan's God.
I am, yes. Thou shalt listen to everything I say. Thou shalt know. Oh gosh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, lightning.
Yeah.
No, but it's huge. And my sponsor, I was sharing this in our group earlier this morning that, my sponsor, I talked to my sponsor on a regular basis, and I talked to him this morning because I had some rough thoughts in my head. And, I go back to what his 5-year-old said to me. We were, going through something a couple months ago, and his standard response is, well, have you prayed about that? And it's like, oh yes, all right, I go do that. And he's like, and have you meditated on that? I'm like, geez, man,
I gotta do both.
I gotta do both of these things, and like, and I gotta go do something to help somebody else too. Geez. But he's constantly helping me discover that I'm not God, and as I'm going through this process a few months ago, and his 5-year-old daughter's in the background, and she says, "Nathan, be Nathan."
That's it.
It's like, boom. And
Drops
to this
mic.
day, he texted me back this morning. To this day, every once in a while, he'll throw in and we use I can say her name, Winnie's logic on that, or
Yeah.
Winnie's wisdom.
Nathan be Nathan.
Nathan be Nathan. It's
Nathan be
like,
Nathan, and
But
But how do I know who Joey is?
well, yeah,
Right?
Right.
And it's like coming back into this process, man.
Yeah.
I don't even know who I am no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm broke, man. I'm broken, bro. So like, teach me who I am, man. That's what it's all about. It's all about helping the guys that just coming in the door.
Mm.
That's and for me, that's a big part of how I discover who I am, man. Because like, God, I remember, you know what I mean, and I know because it's just fresh, man. I just came back in, coming into the door sick, looking for help, looking for answers, seeing people that I know that are still sober, right? See my old sponsors, God, that shit, like, and like a little bit of me is like, man, this dude's still sober. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what a couple people here were saying. It was like when I came into the rooms, I was mentoring this person,
right.
and now they have,
Now they got 3 years,
7 years sober, while I got,
I
this
got
much amount of time when I was the one mentoring him when he came in.
picking up a white chip
Yeah.
or a white key tag, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Now I got to look to him for guidance, but thank God I was there for him when he came in, right? Because he's open to it. He's available.
Genuine
He's like,
reciprocity, dude.
And like, man, I have this. Well, here's my ego, right? I think that I'm so powerful, or I'm powerful enough to destroy that person's recovery, right? So like anything that I do bad, they feel a certain type of way, and now their recovery's ruined because Joey
Because they saw you screw up.
right, or like I screwed them over in some type of way.
Yeah.
So I think that like I ruined their recovery or some shit, and then when I come back, I get nothing but open arms and love, man. And like that makes me stay, and it makes newcomers stay because they see that, man.
Well, that's the thing I was reading yesterday, was it's that if society was based on a set of values instead of rules, it would be a completely different ball game. And I think that the recovery community is a perfect example of being founded on values instead of rules.
Right.
And the value is we still continue to welcome you back with open arms, not, oh, you use, good luck out there.
Okay.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
End all be all.
The only requirement for membership is the desire. Desire to stop using, or desire to stop drinking, which is using too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think our founders, founded the 12-step fellowships, really ended up getting that right. I mean, it took a while to get to that point.
Mhm.
You know, you look at the history of how those 12-step meetings in the beginning started, you know, worked through, and how different groups were doing all these different membership tests, and to really get to that point, you know, that this is the common denominator.
Mhm.
You know, and I think that's a really powerful piece in the 12 steps, and other organizations and other pathways that I participate in, you know, seem to reflect, in my view, that I seem to go towards organizations or pathways which reflect on that. You know, the only thing I need to do is, you know, admit the defeat eventually.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and admit defeat, and say, hey, look, I have a problem and I need some help.
I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do.
Ask, you know what I mean? Ask for help, man. That's the hardest thing for this addict and alcoholic to do, is ask for help.
And as a challenge for me, as a recovery coach, right?
Mhm.
Your recovery coach, especially, right?
Right.
Like, I've known you, so we're friends. You know, we're genuine friends.
Yeah.
And you know, when I got into the rooms, you had a chunk of time.
Yeah.
And I learned by watching you.
Right.
Right. And there's a tiny part of my head, you know, when I first saw you again, I'm like, I'm really happy to see you, but what the heck can I offer you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what can I do? How can I be of service? Right. So I've really, there's my check mark,
Ego
because
check.
like, really all I need to do, you know, is to just sit back and
Mhm.
let
Yeah.
my high power go
for,
through us both.
For those of you guys that don't know, we used to have a ego check board in Nathan's office, and every time my ego would show up, we'd check it, and every time his would, we'd check it. We filled the board up, so we had to erase it.
We're gonna start over.
You couldn't put anything productive
You couldn't
on
put
it
anything
anymore.
productive on there anymore.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Jamie brought up another good question. I actually had kind of like written down here. He said, well, it's very admirable to be taking care of your past consequences. Joey, do you still have faith that anything that comes along regarding the court date you said is coming up will be the path you are supposed to be on? I wrote down jail anxiety, because I have to go to jail in December as well.
How long?
But I don't want to talk
Whatever,
about that. I
we'll
want to talk about
me. Okay.
talk about you.
If you're-
deflect.
If you're willing,
I gotta go
stay
for
there.
2 weeks. You're
You're-
looking at like years, man. I mean, it's. I'm
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just fucking with you. Anyways,
it scares me, like on behalf of you. So like I think
Well,
that
no,
like
I
it's
mean,
a real testament to
so-
your courage being here and
Wow.
talking openly about that shit, man.
So like, for those of you guys that don't know, a lot of you guys are my friends. So, but I've got like 3 different jurisdictions that I'm a part of. I got 12 years over my head, possible like my 3rd violation in that jurisdiction. I got minimum guidelines down here, 2 years in Richmond, 18 months in Henrico. And like, I'm trying to figure out like how do I handle this, right? Like, how do I go about it? Like, and yeah, man, I was talking to somebody yesterday, and he's close with me. We live in the same house, and he was like, "Man, God didn't bring you this far to just lock you up or
Or even
whatever,
let you down.
or let you down." Well, it wouldn't. But see, like, here's the thing: is that people incarcerated need help too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they, you know, like, so if I'm a true believer of the program of AA or NA or whatever it says in the big book, nothing happens in God's world by mistake, man. Absolutely nothing. And like, that sucks, dude. You know what I mean? Like, that literally sucks. Like, so but even if I do have to go down, man, forever, however long, I gotta trust in that, man. I gotta have that faith, man, because that's the 3rd spiritual principle, or the 3rd step. You know, we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him, man. And the biggest part in that is faith. I got to have faith that God's not going to steer me in a direction I'm not supposed to go. So, you know,
Yeah.
I told him that, and I was like, man, like when I went to the RISE program and when I did all this stuff, you know, like, people in there don't even know that there's a better way to live.
Yeah,
Bro. Like, they don't even know.
they don't know the other
they have-
options.
They're, you know, like, man, I'm trying not to like put too much information about other programs out there, but like, yeah, they just don't know, man. They're not getting taught.
Mhm.
They're not getting taught that like the steps will change your life if you apply spiritual principles. They don't even know what they are. They don't know how meetings are conducted or anything like this, man. And it's like, I got to go in there and talk to them for like 2 days, and they were like, you know, so it was like cool to see that, man. And that's what got me fired up to come here, man, and try to do the right thing. because that's all I can do at this point. All I can do is try to do the right thing and hope and pray. And because other than that, I don't have any control over the situation. That's where the lack of power comes from. I'm driven. Big Book also says I'm driven by 100 forms of fear, self-delusion, self-seeking, self-pity. And it says that we step on the toes of our fellows and they retaliate, seemingly without provocation. Now, that's people outside of recovery, right? People inside of recovery are there all the time, no matter what I'm doing, right? So, like, whether it's in jail, prison, whatever, or it's out here on the streets, man. Like, people are there to listen and to learn and to provide feedback to me, because God knows I need it, man. Because I learn way more from you guys than you learn from me, and I can promise you that. You know, and it's like, it blows my mind that I'm not even going to get into the correctional shit, but you know, it's like,
Oh yeah, we can get down that route.
you know, we can
With
we
the
can talk
rabbit
about that
hole.
for 6.5 hours, and I don't think we got that much time. But you know, hopefully, man. I mean, I hope I got court tomorrow. Man. You know what I mean? I don't know what's gonna happen, man. They could revoke my bonds. I'm out on 3 different bonds, and I picked up new charges and all that because I wasn't ready. I wasn't tired, and I was ready to go on another run. I can tell you that, and I did. First thing smoking. You know, as first chance I got, I went on another run, man, and I picked up new charges, and that's my fault. That ain't got nothing to do with the justice system. It's my fault. It's on me. So I made the bed. Whatever happens, bro.
It's a hard piece. And, you know, there's somebody up here right now, Ben Kramer up there, sharing that he went to jail clean. I think he did what, 6 months? Was it, Ben? Was it 6 months? You know, that you did? I mean, I know you're looking at some considerable time, but to go in there clean, you know, and to be able to stay clean through the process, you know, to share a message of experience, strength, and hope with the next person, and perhaps even receive messages of experience, strength, and hope with the people in there too.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I can only keep what I got by giving it away. That's the biggest thing that you guys taught me, man, is that I can only keep what I got by giving it away. And if I feel like I have any semblance of solace in my heart, man, the only thing that I could do is try to give it to somebody, man. And like I shared yesterday, man, like I share this stuff with people because I believe this stuff, man. You know what I mean? Like, I believe that this is a better way to live, 100%. But at the other end of the token, I was on the run for 3.5 years. And I didn't tell nobody in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I dipped out from Brazilian probation 3.5 years. I'm telling on myself now. Now I'm incriminating myself, whatever. Just lock me up.
It's those secrets. That's secrets that keep you sick, right?
Yeah, man. I don't, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't tell you all that. But I trust y'all to try to help me change my life. Because you guys are honest with me. But the hardest part for me is being honest with you guys.
Yeah.
You know, if you guys are honest with me about me, but I can't be honest about me with you guys, what am I really working on? I'm not changing anything. Because the first spiritual principle is honesty.
Or people can't help me if I don't help myself.
Right. Like, if I don't want it, if I don't want to do any better, I'm not going to do any better. And I can't do that until I've reached a point in which I want to change.
Yeah. And you know, I know other people who are here at McShin who have dealt with a similar thing, and they ended up bringing people back with them from jail. Like no, I mean, straight up, like went to jail, spread the word, and like, you know, talked about recovery, and ended up other people ended up getting a bond and then coming into the program from there. So maybe that's like a bit of a vessel. Like I think I'm a vessel for God's word a lot of times. I'm not even religious enough for that. Like, that still feels weird to say.
Yeah.
But like, I do sometimes know that it's not like my doing at all.
Yeah.
And that's hard to recognize for me.
God. It's like, I'm not religious either, man. But like, one of my buddies yesterday, he was like, dude, I think I just had a God moment. And I'm like, I was like, what does a God moment look like to you? I was like, he was like, I don't know, but it was like kind of painful. And I was like, what do you mean it was painful? He was like, he explained this whole scenario, but it was crazy. Cause like, this is a dude that goes to meetings, helps people every single day. Right. And does all this stuff, but he missed the first 3. You know what I'm saying? Because the higher power piece. I'm not just talking about God as in the Christianity God, as in Vishnu, as in Hindu, or as in Allah, or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm talking about find something, man. Find something that's bigger than you. And for me, it's the faith that everything's going to turn out the way that it's supposed to. And it's you guys, man. Like the rooms and the people in the program, that's my higher power right now, because that's what I got to lean on. You know what I mean? As well as, you know, a select few outside the program and stuff like that. But I gotta lean on you guys, man.
Well, and it also goes into another thing that I wanted to talk about was I think something that we all have dealt with is fear as a motivator a lot of times. So like I still hold on to certain times when I was scared in my life and maybe didn't want to make a move, or just fear overall as being a motivator for why I still stay in recovery, so I don't have to have that feeling of fear as much.
Fear.
Yeah. Because the solution to fear is faith.
Right, but do you think you stay in recovery because of fear sometimes? Like, you know what I mean?
Because I fear fear.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I fear being fearful. What does that even mean, dude? Like when I was out there running the streets, man, like I was scared of everything, you know, constantly watching my back, constantly all this shit for 4 years, man. Like, well, three and a half years, something like that.
The anxiety of like conscientiously looking over my shoulder, making sure that all my lies are matching up with each other. All of that stuff.
Yes.
Like I just feared that fear when I really like think about it.
Yep.
And I know that like fear's, I don't know, I think it's a pretty natural emotion. Like we fear knowing ourselves. We fear letting our guard down to let people inside in or whatever. We fear a connection with God, because what if he lets me down? Like I still have a decent amount of fear, but the more that I try to like have faith over the fear, the more I feel a little more like less like I have to control everything.
You know, the way I look at it, man, I always had faith that the crack man was going to show up when he told me he was going to show up, and then never did. You know what I mean? He's like, I'll be there in 5 minutes, right? You know what I mean? I was like, all right, I'm tight. I'm going to be there too. You know, just 45 minutes later, he's at the stoplight. What stoplight, dude? You know, it's been an hour. But you know what I mean? So if I could put my faith in something like that, man, I could try to put my faith in something that's going to save my life. And that's like, I try to, it's kind of messed up, but like, that's what I think about. You know what I mean? I think about that all the time. I'm like, if I could go chase this stuff, man, if I could go chase all that stuff out there on the streets, man, if I could go chase drugs, whatever, drinking, whatever your vice was, man, if I could go chase all that down, why can't I chase my recovery down? Why can't I chase down people that I see walking the walk? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That their video matches their audio.
Yeah, I was just about that's
you know
I
what I'm
love
saying?
that saying.
Because like I can hear people talk all this, you know, like they memorize the book just like me. I did it too. You know what I mean? They memorize the book a little bit, you know, recovery and relapse or whatever it might be. They memorize this shit, spit it out at a meeting, and now there's some recovery. They're the recovery guru, and like I gotta realize, man, that like some people don't have my best interest at heart too. You know, so being able to differentiate that in recovery is tough, man. You know what I mean? It's like it's tough. Like,
So like I'm still like either super judgmental or super gullible,
right?
Sometimes,
yeah,
like wicked naive. I remember when I first came in, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this person is so great."
Because Joey wants to be friends with everybody, man.
Yeah,
I want everybody to love
man.
me. Dude. You know what I mean? Like I need your attention because I want the validation.
I don't love myself
because I fucking hate myself.
The fear is a motivator, right? Fear is a motivator. I like that topic, and I think it kind of speaks to, again, the group we had this morning where we were talking about what is the effect, and we were talking about the effect is that we get our feelings back in recovery, and especially when we don't yet have tools, you know, or you know, as I'm realizing, you know, I'm expanding my toolbox or getting more tools or whatever the frickin' expression I need to use at this moment.
Snap on.
Yeah, right. Snap on. But what the fear is that, you know, I'm gonna continue to live in that pain, and now I can't numb that pain with the drugs and the alcohol. And when I think about that, I think about my first 11 months in recovery. And every time I thought about using, I had a very specific, terrifying image in my head of where I saw the worst in myself. And that image would pop up almost as a Pavlovian response every time I thought about using. And it was right around 11 months where I was literally looking day by day from where I was a year before, getting up to the point where I got clean, that I kind of sat back with my sponsor at the time, and I'm like, what is the point of all of this if I'm just going to continue to feel these incredible highs and lows? You know, what's the point? Because I know how to level this shit out.
Hell yeah.
Out. Sorry, Todd. I know how to level this stuff out, right?
sorry.
I know how to do that. No, I'm not sorry.
He's
That's
not
an honest program. And what we came to is that I was still living without forgiveness of myself and other people in the situation. I wasn't dealing with the emotions. I was letting fear drive me at that moment, which was a good motivator for a while. You know, it helped me initially because I learned from that I could talk about that, you know, and I was able to open up to my sponsor. I'm sharing my experience with that now, and I'm not afraid of that. Like I've shared that particular experience recently and used that, I've used that experience to I hope encourage others to get past the idea that, oh well, I'm gonna stay clean because I don't want to go back to jail. Or I'm gonna stay clean because I don't want to live on the streets, or I'm gonna stay clean because I don't want to screw over my family, and switch that to, I get to be clean today, and I get to have this relationship with my family, and I get to pay my phone bill on time, and I get to drive down the street in a car that I'm not worried about if I get pulled over.
It's kind of like the cause and effect thing. You know what I mean? Like I got to understand that if Joey does this for Joey, then everything else comes after it. You know what I mean? All the relationships, all the material stuff, all that stuff, man. I got to fix this before I can get that. Right. Because none of that stuff actually matters for real. Because I can break that down and build it up. I've proved that time and time again. But this thing is the only thing that's constantly deteriorated over time. You know what I'm saying? It constantly deteriorated over time. The way, you know, the self-obsession, the self-loathing, all of that, and the 100 forms of fear. It's it has grown constantly. Where like the material stuff, I can get the truck, the house, all that stuff back.
It doesn't matter to me.
Man, it don't matter. It's going smack to the pawn shop, man. You know, that's
stuff's temporary. You can't take it with you.
That's the first thing gone when I decide to leave. Besides my sanity, what do they say? Like anything you put before your recovery is the first thing you're going to lose. You know, man. So I can't put all that material stuff in front of what I'm trying to do in my life.
Yeah, I think fear always feels like running from something.
Yeah.
Even like, I mean, it could be a motivator, but I feel like fear is when I'm feeling like I'm running from something when I really should be running towards something.
Yeah, but there are times when fear, I think, is a helpful.
I think it's a temporary solution.
I'm afraid to cross the street without looking both ways. You know, I am not. So I look both ways.
I am not.
Walk by faith, not by sight, dude.
If you're listening at home,
quick lesson for you.
Jimmy had another good question up there. Can you scroll up there, Todd? I remember he had a good one about. I think maybe network. I'll read it for you, big guy.
You're the big fella here, dude.
Not in this lightest.
I'm the one not wearing pants.
That's tight.
Right above that one. Keep going. Keep going. How important is a network of friends to you in recovery, especially since we've been talking about how much we need and want people to like us? It seems like it could be an advantageous tool to build a network of people. So even though it could be a bit of a negative character defect, how I want all this admiration and people to like me, it has made me very good at making friends.
Oh my God.
Which is important in recovery. So it's almost like a double-edged sword there.
I think the biggest thing for me, like I said earlier, is being able to distinguish between who is good for my recovery and who is bad for my recovery, right? Because I got friends that'll co-sign my stuff all day, you know, or I had friends that, you know, co-sign my stuff all day. But what I need is friends that hold me accountable. I need people to call me on it, man, because if I just keep it, one little mishap, one little misstep makes that acceptable, then that makes something else acceptable, a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. and it grows and grows and grows until, I end up relapsing. Then that becomes acceptable, So I
Like the level of stuff that you can get away with.
yeah,
and
it just
still-
keeps growing. It's just as progressive as our disease, man. It's so for me, like, friends are super important, man. I mean, like, the fellowship, like going to pick people up for meetings, or like having them come pick me up for meetings, and like talking to guys after, you know what I mean? Like, go talk to somebody that just picked up a white chip, man.
Mhm.
You never know who's going to be your best friend, man.
Mhm.
At least I don't, you know what I mean? So I try to talk to the guys that pick up white chips or white key tags or whatever, and like just go say, hey, and like right now I'm not in a position in which where like I can do too much for you, but I mean, I'm here if you need to talk, man. And like at the end of the day, hopefully that provides the example for somebody else coming behind me.
I'm not in a position to do too much for you today.
Oh God, we're not
Oof.
doing that ego thing. We're not doing that here, Nick.
But you knew where I was at.
When we get back to the
Oof.
office, all right?
Yeah.
But for me, the people that hold me accountable are my best friends. Man. I try to surround myself with those dudes because, I mean, we still laugh and make jokes and all the same stuff, but they hold me accountable, man. They're like, Joey, shut up. You're talking too much, Joey. You left your dishes out, Joey. You did something that, you know what I mean. But that's how I grow. That's how I learn.
Mhm.
I'm not going to do it otherwise, right? If I just keep doing the same shit over and over and over and over again, I'm never going to learn from it. And like that's in recovery this time, like coming back, I had to really make a decision to try to do something different, right? And like that's where I got honest, man. I started. Ooh, sorry about that, Todd. Your ears all right? Good. But I decided that like I'm gonna talk about the stuff that I never talked about with anybody, even doing 4 steps and 5th steps and all this stuff. I never talked about some of my shit, man, because of fear, man. I'm scared to death to tell you.
Searching and fearless.
Fearless, right? I miss that part, man, because I'm scared to death to tell you all about me because I don't want to get judged because I need the validation. And it's all one big. What is it? The triangle of self-obsession.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
I love that.
you love that.
Love
shit.
that
He
stuff.
loves that. But it's true. It's all one big cumulative circle, man, or triangle, or whatever you want to call it.
Dodecahedron.
Dodecahedron, dodecagon. But for me, I had to like
12
just.
steps to Decagon. That's 12, isn't it?
Checks out.
That's 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, dodeca. Yeah, that is 12. But I had to really come in this time and be like, look, do you want to change? Do I even want to change? Right? Like at the end of the day, that's it. Do I even want to be a different dude? Do I want to change the way that I've been living? And I had to get honest. I had to get real. And like, I had to try to say, like, I've talked to Nathan about stuff that I've never talked to a single soul about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like, that prompted me to open up to the guys that I hang out with. And then, it's like, that's crazy how they can't, like, the kind of stuff that we talk about comes out. And then it's just like, I can talk about it more freely with the next person and more freely with the next person. And then comes the next big thing, right? Because it's always got to progress for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want all the congratulations and validations and gifts of recovery
Hell
without
yeah.
all the character
All the work.
defects and having to say I'm sorry. Like
Yeah, man.
it sucks.
I don't
but
wanna
you gotta
make
have
those
both.
amends, man. I don't
We got to do work.
Right.
We
Right.
gotta, wait, what?
Right.
I have to conscientiously tell someone when I think like, oh, like even if I think the
Mhm.
thought of maybe I'm in the wrong, then I probably am.
Right.
Like I already incepted myself now, even
Yeah.
thinking maybe I did something wrong. I
Yeah.
probably did.
It's like if you have to ask your sponsor what step you're on, you're probably on step 1.
Bummer.
Well, yeah, it was a
And
guy.
that's the thing, because I'm on that one where I'm saying sorry to as many people as I can right now.
Yeah, right. Because
Yeah.
like I like to jump from step 1 to 9, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to jump from like, all right, dude, I'm really messed up right now. I got to go apologize to my whole family. Bang.
Mhm.
You know, and I think that making an amends is in a
My bad, and then I'll
Yeah.
just say my bad
My
to
bad,
everyone
bro.
else.
squad. I'm out. Dude. And then like just slam going hammer trying to apologize to everybody that I've ever messed over. But the thing is that amends isn't an apology.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
Amends isn't an apology. What making an amends is you cleaning your side of the street.
Mhm.
or me clean. Sorry, me cleaning my side of the street.
Nobody's gonna shoot you.
I know. I got a duck and bob and weave. And still, I told you I only got 37 days.
No, because an
Yeah.
apology is usually saying I'm sorry for this thing that I did,
Right.
And an amends is more
Amends
of
is
like, I
like,
was wrong.
I know I
This
was
is how
wrong.
I was wrong.
This is how I was wrong. If there's anything I can do to make it right, please let me know. And if
Mhm.
there's not, there's not. And then I got to be spiritually fit enough for people to tell me to, get lost.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's the that's the tough one, because like I want to play. I'm the master of puppets, right?
No, that's
But look,
that's
I'm a good guy
point.
now.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
like
taking people
the
to
actual word amends is like fix,
Yeah.
like to apologies, just acknowledging it and saying
Yeah.
and
My
moving
bad.
on.
I really like jumping. I love that jump, though, man.
From 1 to 9?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm notorious for it, man. I've been clean for 20 days. I love you guys. Can I get some money? Or like, yeah. I mean,
I accept that I'm broke.
I accept it. Like, it's like, listen, I just need a little help till the first. Right?
Yeah, you brought up a point earlier about, and I think it goes to what Jamie's asking up there, is how do you decipher your real friends in recovery from people who don't have your best interests at heart?
Experience.
Yeah, and how do you make friends that have your best interests at heart?
For me, I mean, it kind of sucks, but like distinguishing between the two comes strictly from experience.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, and like I said, it sucks to say, but like me going in and out and like having friends in Northern Virginia to Richmond, you know what I mean? That are in recovery and that like actually do this thing. Like I can tell who's actually in recovery and who's just here to show face. And like, it sucks to say, but like, I mean, let's be real. Some people are just here to show face, man, and just be like, I'm sober, I'm awesome, and look at all my stuff. And
look at all my stuff.
yeah, you come home with me, and like, you know what I mean? That's that, I mean, some people, and like I've done it, right? Like I'm not saying that I'm some fucking guru or something, but I distinguish between the two because I find the people that know the literature, right? I find the people that know and comprehend the literature, not the people that can repeat the literature, right? Because I could spit the big book to you all day. Believe that. Anybody that knows me knows I can memorize some stuff, but can I comprehend it and put it into action, right? And you can see that, man. Like the dudes that go up and talk to people with that just picked up the white chip, not bolt for the door and go smoke cigarettes, which I do too. But like it's the people that are willing to help the most, and that's the people that I tend to gravitate towards, man.
And that's a comprehensive thing that makes sense. I personally am like with my strong, I don't want to use the word like disgust, but I know people who are comprehensive and understand the literature of religious texts.
Oh yeah.
And so that puts a taste in my mouth where it's like, oh, so you know the literature, but you don't practice those principles type thing. So
And
I when it comes to like literature stuff, I'm a bit more like, let's see you walk the walk.
Yeah.
Like no offense or anything like that, but I'm just more of a like,
it's like
if you just do it without even knowing that you're supposed to do it, that's the type of person I'm like, I dig that shit.
And like that's where the
Just do what you're told.
the acceptance piece comes in. Go.
For sure.
That's tough, man.
It's a really good question up here.
Yeah,
right?
please, Nathan.
Rob Culbertson there, and
Are we not anonymous here? Can we just?
well,
I guess it's up on
the
the
name's on
internet.
Facebook right there. It's
Gosh almighty, that was the
they-
stupidest thing I think I've ever asked anybody in my life.
Was it in the men's room or the women's room?
Yeah.
That's a throwback to an earlier joke. Robert asks, as a parent of an addict, is there such a thing? Is there a possibility that an addict that continues to fail at recovery, scared of facing sobriety, anxiety of success, or fear? Am I reading this?
Yeah, no, you're reading it right. I think what he's asking is if there's such an addict that continues to fail at recovery because he's scared of sobriety, anxiety, success, or fear of failing again.
Well,
Yes, you're looking at one. Like
looking at three, I think, yeah.
Exactly.
Probably, actually, if you see in the corner right there, Are we looking at
4?
4? Are we looking at 4? We're looking at 4.
We got a good video.
I'm gonna-
Yeah,
Title
and
video
you know,
right there.
I think if you're in recovery, whether you whether you can't sustain clean time, that doesn't mean you're failing at recovery. I think that's like
Mm-mm.
the message I would want to drive home is that if you continue to keep getting back on the horse, you're not failing. You are just
learning.
Yeah. I know that I'm a self-saboteur in my life. So that doesn't make me a failure if I continue to go from job to job to job and self-sabotage my relationships, which I can still do nowadays. I don't think I'm a failure, even though I'm afraid of success.
Oof.
Mhm.
I want a tag on my shirt that says self-saboteur.
Self-saboteur
I like
sounds
that.
so.
I
Is there an accent anywhere in that? Or is it-
Self-saboteur.
Can we start a club?
Yeah, I'm down. dude.
None of us could be president because we're all afraid of success. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so like I read.
Our elections would be terrible.
It's just
No,
the three of
no,
us
no.
banter back and forth. No, well,
Roast club.
I was reading this book one time, and I can't remember what the name of the book is, but it said every addict / alcoholic's worst fear is that their greatest dreams will come true.
Oh yeah, man. It sucks.
Yeah.
Man, I'm like,
Terrifies
but
me.
I'm tired of it, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm exhausted from that, man. And like I think I could speak for what we all just said, man. There's people who have gone in and out and come back and all this stuff. I'm terrified of success, man, because what comes after that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What happens if I'm sober for 100 years? You know what I mean? Like, what do I do after that, man? Like, what is next? Because me as an addict, I'm a thrill seeker, right? And I thrive in chaos, and I love the thrill of the hunt and the
Right
running.
there with you, man.
Yeah, man, the process for me is just as addictive as the drug itself. So, like, I'm always out there running and gunning and doing all this
Challenge. It's a
crazy-
puzzle.
Yes,
It's a
dude.
problem to solve.
I love
Yeah.
breaking the law.
Yeah, it's a puzzle to solve.
Like
yeah.
for me, I love breaking the law. I like to steal stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I like stealing. I'm addicted to stealing. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. Let me get but that's part of it, man. And like, but when I'm sober, I'm a hardworking dude. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I could build you a house. I could do whatever, whatever I put my mind to. But then I get all the stuff back, man. And that's what I was going back to about the material stuff. Is that like that's a trigger for me? You know what I'm saying? Because I know for a fact that I could tear all that down again.
Right.
And given the opportunity, I will. You know what I mean? If my spiritual condition isn't maintained.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about, man. It's about applying the principles in all of my affairs. And that's what the 12-step is. You know, having had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps. We tried to carry this message to addicts, alcoholics, whatever, practice these principles in all our affairs. And like, that's the part that I miss the most about the 12-step, right? Because like, I can get the carry the message to addicts part, but practicing the principles in all of my affairs is the best way to help another addict.
Yeah.
Because that's
All of the time.
all of it.
Yeah, right.
That's
Right. I
so
can't do
tough.
that, dude. I don't know how to do that.
to be
See,
able
even
to
the
do
idea
it.
of that would be considered success, and that scares the shit out of
It
me.
scares
Like-
me absolutely.
That's why it's last.
Yeah, that's why it's the last one. I'm already tired from reading the first 11.
Yeah. I love that success has come up as a topic because it's something that ties to purpose for me.
Mm.
And I've tied purpose and success to material items for a long time in my life, and even perhaps even more so than that, I've probably attached other people's thinking of me, what they thought of me to my success.
Because you know what everybody's thinking.
Well,
Me too.
yeah, I think I do. Anyway, I want look at me,
Right.
and as I stop doing that, I feel better.
Mm.
As I do it more, I feel worse. I mean, it's a very simple formula for me. It's like I recognize that, when I'm starting to obsess, like right now, I've got a broken phone and I was looking for phones and I have the money to buy a new phone. And it's like, first of all, that is a success for me. I haven't had the money to buy a new phone in a while. So to have the money to buy a new phone, and oh, by the way, I need to get my car taken care of, as you know. So it's like I'm going, but I could spend the $600 on this new phone over here. I don't even need the phone. This is fine. Probably buy the same phone for $25 or $50 and be okay, and still get my car taken care of. But I start to attach a value to who I am as a person to a material thing, and then I start to lose my idea of what success is. For me, when I'm simplifying what success is, when I'm simplifying purpose to being a more loving person, when I'm simplifying my success to being a little better tomorrow than I am today, more quickly getting into the amends when I screw up, because I'm human and I'm going to screw up, especially with the people I love the most, because I have incredibly high expectations of myself around other people I love and care about the most. But unfortunately, I put really high expectations on the people I know and love and care about the most too. Mm-hmm. And learning to take away those expectations. Like my success today, when I am happy, my success is most tied to being better today than I was yesterday. Mm-hmm. And that's very, very simple. I don't worry about the food. I go to food because I'm getting fat. I don't worry about the material things. When I don't worry about the material things, when I don't worry about, where I'm going to live, and I live in recovery housing. So I know that stress is going to come up as I start to look in the future, because I'm also a newly minted felon. Well, not so new, I guess.
Squad.
Yeah, right. Felon squad. But I know these are challenges that I will face, but I will face them, and I will face them with other people who have been through the storm, and know the way out of the maze, or whatever analogy you want to put there. So success and purpose are tied together for me. And when I simplify that stuff, I am a much happier, easygoing guy, and I'm grateful to have people around me who can help uncomplicate me, put me back in my place, put my little check mark on. Man, you get me so much. Like, I am so grateful. Like, 3 people right here who get me in ways like I don't know what I did to deserve having you in my life, and I could be grateful. I could be pissed off about that. I don't know. I'm grateful, I'm really grateful. And I have people like that all around. Mm-hmm. And to the idea of finding the true friends from the not so, I always say that I cast a wide net, but I pull it real tight. Mm-hmm. And like I talk, to everybody. I try to keep everyone around, and observe, because not everybody who's in my inner circle today is going to be in my inner circle tomorrow. Right. Something mm-hmm. might come up, and I might not be in theirs either. I mean, I'm just as susceptible as the next guy to freaking going out and doing, one wrong decision and then going down a path. And so I hope to stay humble and teachable about that, just to have some principles about that. So
I just wish there was like a formula for success where I could plug in a number for my happiness, multiply it by my bank account, divide by my clean time, and just spit out a number, and that's how successful I am for the day.
And what's wonderful is that you take ASAMs and you do we do all these tests where we actually physically met. Well,
this is how successful you are. 98.
74% of our participants stay out. It's like, I know that these numbers are important.
Mine told me my mental health was at a 98. I don't know if that's.
Mine told me my mental health.
It's like you need to immediately see.
It's a 98 out of 42.
Is that your dad? It might be my dad. Oh, what's up?
Yeah, it's old Papa Bear.
Your dad's name is Bruce?
My dad's name
is Bruce.
Hello, awesome. Bruce.
Hey, Bruce.
What's up, Papa Bear?
Proud of your son, man.
So one thing that I had, I had a resentment against recovery. Oof. Right. And I was talking to Alex a little bit about this yesterday in group, man. I had a resentment against recovery because I'm tired of seeing people die, bro. Mm-hmm. Right. But I also got to think about the people that died in recovery. Man, I got to think about the people that died sober, clean, going to work, doing stuff like that. Because we lost some.
Sad part is, not to jump in too much, but a lot of that can be consequences for our active addiction.
Right.
Dying from a bacterial infection from when you were using, even though you're 5 years clean.
Absolutely, man. And it's only through my friends. And this is what made me so glad to be back, man, is that I realized that all the people that are gone still living here. For me, this is my personal, my personal stuff. But I can see them in each and every single person I look around at in the rooms, man. And I don't mean to get dark or twisted up in here, but people die as a result of this disease, man. And in the time that I've been in recovery, I got a lot more clean time than I do using, in the past, I don't know, 12 years that I've been trying this thing, man. And I've seen a lot of people die, a lot of people. And every time it's sad. I've been to, I can't even tell you how many funerals, bro, but at the end of the day, I know that doesn't have to be me.
Yeah.
Right. And that doesn't have to be us. And that doesn't have to be, but it's going to take some work, man. It's going to take some work, because I got to change the way that this operates, because the way that it wasn't working. You know what I'm saying? And the most beautiful thing is that I got an opportunity to do that. Like I got another chance, man. Like I gotta take this. I gotta take it, and I gotta run with it. I gotta do as much changing and growing as I can now, man. Because I'm done. I'm tired, bro.
Well, you can, yeah.
I'm tired of running on the streets, man, hiding from everybody that I love, man. Because I love them now, right? But when I was on the streets, I didn't care. I didn't care about them at all, My dad, my little sisters. Remember my little sister, my big sister, all of these people, my girlfriend. I hid from them people, man. My aunt, like what made me the first thing that went was my cell phone, because I didn't want them to call me. I didn't want them to stop me. I didn't want nobody to stop me, because I wanted to keep going until I was dead, man. And why is that acceptable for me? What made that acceptable? And that's what I'm here to find out, man. Because if I don't do that moral inventory, I'll never figure it out. If I don't do the work with even outside of NA and AA, man, there's some, like I need some professional help, man. And like that stuff I got to address too. And I'm working on that, like there's so many tools that are laid out at our feet here, man. And like, as long as I talk to the right people and associate with the right people and do the right things, I'm going to make it, or I should.
Yeah.
The big book says that if we go about our recovery with one half the zeal we went about getting another drink, there's no reason we should fail. I only got to try half as hard to recover as I did to go chase a crack rock. Damn, good.
But they've never seen I think NA says we've never seen anyone practice the NA program.
We never have we seen anyone who practices, or what does it say?
It follows the program to its fullest ever relapse.
Whatever.
Something to that effect.
Something like that. It was painted on the walls downstairs for like years.
They painted over it.
That was brutal, man. I came back and they painted over the whole room. I was
just
like,
more opportunity to paint something else on there now.
Yeah, I'll go down there.
Well, I
New
think,
beginnings.
I think it might also speak to the multiple pathways of recovery that this organization is embracing. But yeah, meh, do it, put it on. But oh, look at that. We're about an hour and 3 minutes in.
Are we
What
really?
y'all grateful for? I love that little way to end. That's a Nathan Mitchell special, man.
I slammed that into our 10-step at the house.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah. I'm grateful that you brought that as a part of this today, because I didn't know before I got into recovery. I didn't know what gratitude was, and I don't know that I know it exactly now, but I learn more about what it is every day through you all, in the room and in my recovery process. And so I'm grateful to have gratitude, if that makes sense.
No, that makes no sense.
That makes no sense.
Clarified.
Right.
You can't do that. That doesn't count. Redo.
What book are we? Oh, Johnny Fab wants to do Book of the Month Club. Johnny, we're going to do that book that we were talking about on Facebook the other day. This is
The Da Vinci Code.
This has nothing to do with recovery, you guys. We're going to start talking about Dan Brown books and all types of weird
The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Oh,
I'm
hell
not
yeah.
wearing any pants.
That's because they traveled, Nathan.
Didn't you read the book?
That's true. I do need to do laundry.
It's like a summary of the whole book.
I'm grateful to have a program of recovery that continues to evolve and help me simplify and clarify and put people in my life to help me become a better person.
Squad.
And with that, I'll pass.
Oh, thanks.
So,
What you grateful for, Joey?
Oh man. I'm grateful that people still care. Because if it was up to me for real, I would have lost all of them out there while I was running that. Now, of course, it's not how I feel, but I'm grateful I'm not sleeping under a bridge tonight. Oh, hopefully I'm not sleeping under it. Let's knock on wood on that. That's plastic, isn't it? I'm grateful I'm not running anymore, man. I'm not running.
Me too.
I'm ready to, face whatever happens, man. And like I said, I got court tomorrow. I'm grateful to be going to court for. I ran from the people for 3 years, man, 3.5, whatever, however many years it was. I'm just ready, man. I'm ready to do something different with my life, and I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful that you guys are here to show me that. So,
I'm very thankful you're here too. Maybe you should bring this to court with you tomorrow. Be like, check
bring
this
the
out.
video. Just show them an hour and a half
this
video
out.
of my preliminary hearing. Mr. Jewell, this isn't the trial. Man. Calm down.
Oh no, we can make it 2 hours if
Yeah,
you want.
I need you all there.
As much evidence as
Just hold
possible.
up a computer in the background. While
Todd, what are you grateful for?
Well, I was telling you guys before I came in, I said I've been harboring some, just got some stuff going on at home with this whole learning thing has had me in a funk the last 2 to 3 years, it feels like. But anyways, I mean, so being able to be a part of this today in person to get my head clear, so I'm not really struggling with some of the kriller today. That's definitely, and it's okay. I think honesty said it the other day. It's okay to not be okay. And it definitely was not okay earlier today. I was, so this has been a big help. So, so that's what I'm grateful for. So,
Awesome.
I'm grateful for Gwen's comment. I don't know if we missed it, but it was like I was
The cool moment. Yeah.
Yeah. She was like, I was shopping while listening to the podcast. Lady in front of me had a wake just for today tag on her key ring, and I wished her congratulations.
That's
so
tight.
That is awesome.
yeah, so that was cool,
Pass it on.
seeing that. So but anyways, that's aside from where I'm coming from with me. So
That's beautiful, man. And Gwen, I am still reading your book. Dope Sick.
I'm
by the
also
way.
reading your book.
Yeah, well,
Not
her book. You're also reading her book
I'm
with
also-
me.
No, I'm also reading her book.
Gwen's book. What are you reading?
You said Dope Sick, right?
Yeah.
what's that? She didn't write the book. It's just her copy.
It's her
of it.
copy of the book.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know who
That's
wrote
Beth,
the book.
Beth Macy, I think.
And I was like,
yeah.
I'm also reading your
book.
Gwen, I've got your
I was,
book too.
I was like, hopefully I didn't lose it or something. And
It's
now
all
you're
at
reading
night.
it.
It's only at night.
At night. um,
Gwen, it's our Bible
I
now.
apologize to Alex's girlfriend.
I
Always.
stop
Oh,
it.
jeez.
Shut it down. Shut it down.
I can't shut it down without plugging.
Well, hold on. You have to say what you're grateful for.
I was gonna say
Oh.
I am grateful for another day clean. I'm grateful for you two fine gentlemen and Todd as well. You're also a fine gentleman. These three wonderful guys, recovery focused. I'm grateful to admit when I'm wrong. I'm grateful to be grateful. My mom has called me ungrateful a lot in my life before.
Your mom?
Yeah.
Well, I bet your
No,
mom.
no,
I can see that.
when I
Thanks,
was
Mom.
using
Uh-huh.
and now I try to be more grateful and I'm I don't know, just happy to do something like this to take
Yeah.
me out of my square a little bit because I was having a pretty whack day, honestly. I was not having the best day, and this kind
Oh.
of like helped me out a
Had a lot
lot.
of
It's
those
just
in
kind
a
of
row.
like really just talking it out
Yeah, man.
helpfully.
That's what it's about.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So, hey, what are you doing for dinner tonight?
Oh, I'm probably going to be getting some burgers from Carytown Burgers and Fries.
In
Why?
Lakeside? At Lakeside?
Yeah.
Sometime between 4 p.m. and 9 p.m.?
Yeah. Why?
Boom. I
Is
was
there
thinking
something
about
going
getting a
on
burger
there?
shop. Well, I understand there might be something going on there. First of all, they have fantastic burgers. I'm going to get the one with the pineapple on it and all that. I know. Why do I sound
I
crazy?
just ate the Kojak the other day.
You just ate it, but it's at 4.
I
You
said
see.
the other day.
I know.
It wasn't the other
Why
day. It
should
was
I
earlier
order today, though, Nathan?
Why should? Well, that's a very good question, Todd. Do you know the answer? Do you know the answer?
Well, 10%.
10%.
10% goes back to Machine tonight from 4 to 9 by calling.
Stop it.
Wait, I have to cut 10% of the burger off and give it to somebody at McShin?
No. 10% of your bill goes towards McShin.
Does it go in a box?
But if you're gonna go tonight, it's definitely only the Lakeside one, and you gotta, it says
You gotta call.
you call 804-266-5333.
266-5333.
Yep.
That is so easy to remember.
256
This is probably
Stop doing that.
And you have to say,
oh yeah, you have to say. Oh, hold on, let me pull it up.
abracadabra.
McShinburger 28.
No, you gotta say
Shoot,
Spirit
that's
Night.
my password.
You gotta say
You have
what?
to say what?
You have to say Spirit Night.
Oh,
All right.
At
So
check-
call Carytown Burgers and Fries in Lakeside from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m.
at
And say Spirit Night.
804-266-5333.
and just yell Spirit Night into
Just
the
yeah.
phone.
scream
Yeah.
Spirit night.
Don't even
With
tell.
They don't even have to take an order.
They don't even have to take an order. Just
And
yeah.
if you want to drive by and give them spirit fingers,
Yeah.
Oh, stop it.
No, this is why
No,
you mentioned
give 'em
Spirit Night at
fingers,
checkout. So,
Oh, so you
Yeah.
you have to mention it at checkout.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
valid. So they ask for when they ask for your name, don't just yell McShin and hang up.
So you don't scream into the phone, Spirit Night? Oh.
I can't tell if that says 0 people or 9. So let's just cut it right there.
All right.
it's a 9.
Hell yeah.
All right, this has been a blast.
Yes.
I love you guys.
I love you
all
too.
of y'all.
Love it.
Todd, love you, man.
Love it,
Thank y'all
family.
for watching. This has been Get in the Herd.
Yeah, somebody bring this to court tomorrow.
Get in the herd. Get out.
Hi everyone, I'm Honesty Liller. I am the CEO of the McShin Foundation and a woman in long-term recovery. Since May 27, 2007, I have not used drugs or alcohol. Woo woo! Thank you so much to the Richmond Times-Dispatch and all of our voters for Get in the Herd podcast. Those podcasts are amazing. Not only has it helped thousands upon thousands of people in their recovery, as well as family members, but it has helped me in my personal recovery. I get to listen to them now in my car through Spotify and iHeartRadio. And it's just really important for us to be innovative in the addiction field and the recovery community. So when COVID hit, we had to be innovative. We really had to think of what can we do to reach people that cannot go to 12-step meetings, smart recovery, faith-based, whatever, that we're shutting down constantly. So we were innovative here at McShin. Let's start podcast. So with Todd, John, Alex, and some other staff, we all just kind of jumped in who can do what. And with Todd's lead and John's lead, the podcasts have been amazing and we're still doing them today. So I want to thank you for all of your votes and all of your energy and all of your support of our mission of healing families and saving lives. Thanks.